the chief tower of Guldur. From here, the necromancer once viewed Greenwood the Great. Now the lieutenant of Guldur forays from this perch in search of the company of the ring.
Welcome back to more Lord of the Rings Online.
Intruders have breached the lower level. Send down reinforcements and drive them out!
So this episode is going to be quite exciting. This is a 12-man raid. Barad, Guldur, and the same guy who helped me out in the last episode, and Nazgûl, is going to be trying to help me out through this one. And I'll be honest with you guys, I never did this raid back in the day, so I don't know what to expect, but it certainly looks pretty fun. And the first part of this raid, what happens is the enemies keep coming until you reach the top of the stairs here, so you kind of have to keep moving, keep pace, keep pushing forward, keep killing, and just don't stop. Now for those of you who have not watched the previous two episodes, I am in a situation in which I recorded this episode, and when I went back to edit it, I realized that my microphone was not recording due to an update in the recording software that I use. And so what has happened is that I am having to do the audio after the fact. So this is not live commentary. This is after the fact commentary. I know it's not as genuine. It's not as exciting. There's nothing I can do about it now. It wasn't recorded. There's nothing I can do except go back and record some new audio. So I do apologize about that, and I hope I can keep the commentary to your satisfaction, at least in this episode. So we're doing this instance at level 65, since there's only 2 of us and it's supposed to be a 12-man raid. We do have a max level hunter, so that works out nicely. But this instance does scale up, so you can do it on level, which is quite interesting and would be quite a challenge, I think. Or maybe not, because we seem to do okay with just the one guy here killing everything. So maybe if we had 12 people, it would be challenging, but not impossible on max level. This is a very vertical raid. You'll see that I'll be climbing stairs pretty much all episode long. It goes very, very high to the very top of Guldur. A very nice climax for the end of the season here. These guys are pretty tough in that they do a ton of damage. Gotta be a little careful with them. So you can see I parried and it still did 742 damage. That one almost hit me for 2,000. It's pretty ridiculous. Gotta have a good tank. Gotta have a healer. Alright, so we got a brief respite here, so the enemies are gonna start coming down incessantly. And I believe this is going to be the first boss already of the instance. Using a few items here to help me out, help out my morale.
Such a shame to come so far only to fail.
Alright, so this is the boss, and you can see all these inanimate suits of armors around here, and he will animate a few of them as the fight progresses, so you do have to deal with a few adds. Depending on how fast you kill him, you won't have to worry about it too much. Kind of reminds me of the Chinese terracotta warriors almost, this room does. It is a little bit of a difficult landscape to fight in just because of all this armor around.
Where are my reinforcements?
It's not a wide open space. You have all these obstacles in your way. And you can see there's an ad here. But not too bad. About halfway done with him. I'm just trying to come in, do a few bleeding combinations, and then step out.
There is no victory to be had here. Only death awaits you. Insignificant wretch.
Should be dying here in a second. There he is. Dead.
The shadows
Make sure to loot the body. Some goodies.
But your turn will come.
There you go.
Soon enough.
Lower Barad Guldur is ours, and it is secured. So I am looking at some of the items here, seeing if they're worth replacing. Doesn't really seem like it. Well, ready to move up ahead. There's this quest here still. To talk to one of the elves here in Barad Guldur, and at the time I didn't know it, but I'll be coming back here momentarily to turn in that quest. And here I'm just a little bit worried that we missed the quest. That's why we're kind of moving slow. Crazy warg. I'll come to find out in a few minutes that this warg does a ridiculous amount of damage, and there's a few of them throughout the instance, so you gotta be careful with these, especially since they're in stealth. You can see most things in here are hitting me for thousands of hit points, which is a little bit ridiculous. So here I'm asking him about the quest, since it says to go talk to an elf. Alright, so we decided to go try to turn in this quest before continuing forward. And it's actually right here. If you wait after the first boss, all these elves pop up here, and one of them will have some quests for you, which is pretty nice. And I'm going to try to power read through this, that way I don't inconvenience my friend. Belvar, the commander, has given you some instructions for you, Kippen. Further up this tower lie horrors of Mordor, which yearn to smother the light of the world beyond these fell eaves, corrupting Middle Earth as they have corrupted Mirkwood. If you are to march further, you do so to face great peril. If you feel able, you should scour the place for any clues or information that will be of use for a campaign against the enemy, whether it be within these walls or abroad from the greatest fight against the enemy. I wish you luck, Warden. Please bring your findings to me, but this is not a path that you should walk alone. Bring as many strong friends as you can. Well, man, Kippen, you foray into this evil tower shall not be soon forgotten by the elves who served this offensive. We are indebted for you for breaching the defenses of Barad Guldur. From here, I believe you are advancing further up the tower is no small feat, I assure you, but for now, take a moment's respite. Just gotta make sure this guy's still with me. Can't move forward on my own, I'm too weak. Level 65 Warden here, I can't take a 12-man raid by myself. Well, I'm not level 65, I'm level 74. The instance is set at level 65. But anyways, the quest requires me to find 3 items throughout the raid, and they're fairly easy to find. You can always use your delete key to try and figure out where they're at, sorry, as I did there. Looks like above us at some point, so we're gonna keep climbing higher and higher. That's the theme of this raid, is just climbing. Lots of climbing to do. So there's no boss here, just a fairly complicated room. Some pretty tough opponents, and a lot of them too. A lot of other lower tier opponents, I suppose. Sustaining their power in numbers. Alright, so this is pretty cool because once you pull one of these little guys, all of them come forward. You can see like a massive army just charging at you, which is kind of sweet. Look at this. Thankfully, they're pretty slow. So it gives you a little bit of time to take care of them. But they do some pretty hefty damage if you find yourself in the middle of the group. I'm gonna try to do an AoE bleed here. At least act like I'm doing something. There's another stealth warg. Those are dangerous. Those are dangerous. You'll see soon. I don't know what that blue eye above me is, but can't be good, right? So there's the first item for the quest. But obviously, let's go ahead and clear out the room. Alright, so that is one of 3. Alright, ready to move on up. But this is what I'm talking about. Look how much damage this warg is doing on me. It's insane. I died. Massive damage. So I'll fast forward my way up here because it's a long climb. It's kind of cool though because the elves, they're kind of storming the tower with you, as you can see. And as you clear different areas, they move up higher and higher as well. That's enough rambling. I'll fast forward from here. Alright, this is where I died to the warg, so let's continue. Can't really seem to pull one of these at a time. You kind of have to get to both of them. I could certainly see this raid taking a fairly long time if you're doing it on level with a full group. Another warg trying to sneak in for the kill. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to stay back from now on. Let my friend do the leading. That's why I'm kind of slowing the pace here. I'm letting him go ahead of me in case there are any more stealth enemies. Towards the beginning, I was kind of trying to push forward a little bit quicker. Let him do all the damage and take all of the damage as well. Purple poison cloud certainly does a lot of damage if you step within its bounds though, so you want to be careful for that. Looks like there's going to be another item for the quest up ahead, but for now, Obviously, the important thing is to clear the room here. There's lots of enemies, a stealth warg, and 3 of these bad boys, which all do a tremendous amount of damage. Less so if you're max level. And again, the poison cloud, as you can see, does a ridiculous amount of damage. I almost died there again. It's pretty unfortunate. I'm letting my health recuperate a little bit before moving forward. Ideally, if you want to be doing this on group, you'd want the tank up front and try to keep as many people back as possible, especially because of those poison clouds here. Look, 1100 damage just by walking around it. Alright, so I think we're ready to move forward. There's going to be an item just straight ahead. But again, I'm letting him take the lead. If he wants to start killing a few things first, that's fine. Alright, so here is the Curious Trinket. So that's 2 out of 3 items. Now I just need to search for some of the bookshelves, and it should be good to go. I think right up the stairs here, there's going to be the second boss of the raid. But you can see there's lots of pulls to worry about here. Lots of pretty dangerous and high-hitting opponents. Can't imagine this being an easy instance on level. And it looks like I'm out of morale potions. Looking in my inventory for some more, can't seem to find any. They saved me a few times. Now what's annoying is that over the last several episodes I completely forgot about one of my most important warden skills. I forgot what it's called, but it's that skill where if you drop beneath, I think 20 or 10% health or something like that, you basically refill your health back up. And I completely forgot about that skill. I haven't been using it in a long time. And I probably could have prevented a lot of deaths over this episode and the last previous ones as well, if I had remembered to use that skill. But whatever, too late for that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure right up these stairs is going to be the next boss. But there's still a lot of climbing to do before we're ready to complete the raid. It's a giant tower. coast looks pretty clear. So we'll continue going up. And there we go. I think the second boss is just in this room. But maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. Yeah, it's here. You gotta pull these levers and then they come out. You can kind of see them through the gates here, as it is. So you gotta light both braziers, and the fight begins.
Shadow and flame are our master's tools!
And we serve the master with shadow and flame.
Let terror fall over you like a blanket of shadow! I see a shadow of doubt has entered your heart. Let it free!
And let fire consume your souls on your way to oblivion.
So we got two sorcerers here. One of them is focused on shadow magic and the other is focused on flame magic. They kind of complement each other. And I kind of forgot the mechanics of the battle and what sort of special abilities they each have, or what a good strategy is. But I think whenever they say that and you get the eye above you, you kind of want to separate yourself from the group, which is what I'm doing here. I'm trying to stay back, but as you can see, I took a massive amount of damage here. I'm gonna have to run back once again. Well, let's watch out the rest of the battle here. Watch my friend defeat this. There you go. I'm asking if he has a res here since he's a high elf. I forgot if high elves have res or not, but anyways, I'm just gonna have to run back. That's just the way it is. Very unfortunate. And with that little fast forward sequence, you can appreciate just how far we've climbed so far. Picked up some rewards here in the chest, but I think we're ready to move on. Climb even higher. It's crazy. Alright, so I think we're ready to go to another tier. Alright, so lots more enemies to worry about here. All of these, they just hit so hard. They do so much damage. You really need a good tank, I would imagine, if you're going to be trying to do this instance. Because even as a warden, 10 levels over what we set the raid, I'm getting hit for 1,200, 1,500. Some of them are hitting me for 2,100 per hit, which is just insane. And the theme for the most part does seem to be shadow and flame if you haven't caught on to that just yet. As you can see, these two enemies in front of us. fire one certainly does seem to explode as you finish it off, so you want to be at a distance if you're not the tank. Certainly if you're a squishy like a minstrel or something like that, you don't want to be anywhere near these enemies when they die. In fact, in general, you don't want to be anywhere near the battle as a minstrel. You want to be on the periphery, away from all the damage. It's just pretty cool. You can see how far we've climbed. You can see all of Mirkwood down below us. Always like looking out these little windows. Actually, I don't know why I said I always like looking down those windows, because I've never done this raid before. This is the first time. Cool banner here. Looks like Sauron commanding the Nazgûl, the 9. Pretty nice. Gotta appreciate the scenery sometimes before just moving on. You can see that hit me for 2,500, I think it was. It's crazy. Massive damage. Trying to keep our distance to prevent being feared. Those things tend to fear you, which is always very annoying. So here's the final item for the quest. Got a book that will certainly be of interest to the elves. Alright, so that quest is done, but before I go turn it in, we're going to push forward a little bit more. There's still plenty of climbing to do, if you haven't noticed. So yeah, we are feared here. We can't do anything. Our characters automatically run in the opposite direction. So it's not just us being crazy, an actual effect of the enemy. More fears. Man, those are annoying. Look at that. You can't do anything. Your character's going all over the place without your control. Very frustrating. Alright, so we're almost out there. You can see the sky, you can see the lightning, you can see the doom and gloom that awaits us at the top, but we finally reached the top, right? That's the important part. Getting close to the end finally. I say that, but there's still plenty of work to do before the final boss. Alright, so this top tier is a big ring around a central portion, and you basically have to go around the ring and clear it. There's a couple levers to pull before the gates to the final boss are opened. So that's what we're going to be doing. Certainly was a very long climb, though. I don't think anybody would disagree with that one. You gotta be careful up here because there are certain enemies who patrol the entire perimeter. So you may be fighting something in front of you and have something sneaking up behind you. So always be aware of that. Alright, so this white army is down. Let's start tackling some of the other guys too. See some of the Nazgûl flying around. This is what I'm talking about. See how these two snuck up behind us? Because they're patrolling the entire perimeter. I'm gonna kind of hang back because they're hitting me for like 1500 damage. There we go. Another army of whites. I'm gonna run in there and just put an AoE bleed on all of them and then run for my life. Because they'll hit for like 1,000 each too, so if you get stuck in the middle here and they all hit you. See? I just got hit for like 5,000 damage. They all took one swipe at me. Gotta be careful, man. Alright, so let's keep moving around here. Very cool raid, by the way. I really enjoyed this one. Again, it was my first time doing it. I don't know how I missed this one back in the day. Well, I do know. I told you guys at some point in this playthrough that I've been playing Lord of the Rings Online since 2007, but I took a lot of breaks in between, some fairly lengthy ones as well. So I did miss a lot of the content in between, and this must have been part of it. Okay, so we're done clearing the perimeter here, and we can finally move on up to the final stage, the area of the last boss here. It's quite exciting, but before we do that, there's still the quest I need to turn in here, and I think I'm a little bit worried that there might be a part 3 to the quest, so I think here in a couple of seconds I am going to be asking my friend if he doesn't mind me running all the way back down to the beginning so that I can turn in this quest and maybe pick up a part 3 that might ensue afterwards. But everything here seems pretty clear for now. There are 2 levers. That's the second one. You gotta press them before you can move up to the top and face the final boss. That's important. So I think here I'm gonna go turn in this quest, and I'll probably fast forward this since it is quite a lengthy ride all the way back down to the bottom. Everything else seems pretty clear though for the final boss. Hail, Melana. I am
can I
glad
be
to
of
see that you
service?
have returned in one piece. Do tell what you saw in the tower. So I guess there was no third part to the quest. That's alright. So we are just about ready. With my forced march, I made it up here way sooner than my friend did, so I think I'll edit again once he's up here and we're ready to go. Cool stage though. Alright, and here's the final boss, the Lieutenant of Guldur and his beast.
You have ventured far and fought hard to face your doom, puny mortals. Come then, and learn the true meaning of despair.
Alright, so
That's it.
first you
Run.
have the
I
Nazgûl
yet
on
love
his
the
beast.
sport.
And once he gets to a certain morale, he actually dismounts and you have two enemies to worry about. The beast and the Lieutenant of Guldur himself. Very well then, mortals, my pet.
I shall handle you myself then, foolish mortals. Come now, face the terror of the shadows.
So there's actually a challenge mode for this quest in which you have to kill the lieutenant before you kill the beast, which is certainly a little bit more difficult since the beast is already halfway dead. And I wish that my partner would kill the beast that's chasing me instead of focusing on the lieutenant first, since we can't even get the challenge quest. The challenge quest can only be done at max level. But I am running around for my life while he's focusing on the lieutenant. Again, if he were to fight the beast first, it would have been a lot easier on all of us. There are lots of fears that happen during this fight as well.
I sense a seed of doubt in your heart.
And here he comes after me again. And I'm slowed. I'm probably going to die here. Well, I already know that I'm going to die since I already recorded this. And remember, you didn't know until now.
Face the truth and embrace despair.
So now all I can do is watch. But I hope you enjoy the rest of this fight here. It's pretty
I
exciting.
sense a seed of doubt in your heart.
See, the beast is almost dead. He really just should have focused on
I
it.
sense a seed of doubt in your heart.
I feel like he almost let me die by not focusing on the beast, but whatever. I can't really complain. He's helping me out. He helped me get the raid done and the instance in the last episode, so I can't complain about it. I like how he brings the lieutenant here to die on top of me, though. It's pretty symbolic, I suppose. I don't know.
I sense a seed of doubt in your heart.
There's the lieutenant, and now the beast is the only
I
thing
may
that
be
remains.
bested, but I am not beaten.
You can see it's a pretty close fight if you look at his morale. No, it wasn't guaranteed.
I will be waiting to exact my revenge.
Got stunned here, that's pretty dangerous. Long stun too, man. And that's that. I'll edit myself back up here. Pretty cool instance. Pretty cool boss fight. So there is a drop that the last boss drops. It's a robe. You can scarcely hold these robes as you fear that the wraith who bore them may yet be lurking within their depths. Stealing yourself, you shake the tattered robes in search of any clues to the identity of the former owner and their fate. Finding nothing, you decide to take them with you to Belvar. Perhaps you will know what to do with them. So Belvar is all the way back in Helithir, so I will edit myself over there. I think. Yeah, I think that'll probably be a little bit easier, but I hope you enjoyed the raid. It's pretty fun. I had a lot of fun going through it. I wish I had a chance to keep the original audio recording, but whatever. We can only do so much. Alright, so back here in Helithir to turn in this quest, hopefully.
What can I do for you?
Belvar takes the robes from you and looks them over, utterly nonplussed. You have accomplished that which I never dared to hope even in my furthest reaches of my dreams. Our entire campaign here very well may owe its success to you and your good companions. Your deed is far too great for me to honor you properly, Kippen. You should take these to you and go to Celeborn and Lorien. Take this coin and you should present it to him. He will wish to hear your story. May the grace of the elves guide you on your way, Kippen. You are a true hero. Alright, so as a hunter, he's going to be able to transport me to Lothlorien right away, so that's pretty nice. I'll go there, no problem. We're almost done with the raid. Just gotta finish up by talking to Celeborn. Feels nice to be in the bright, sunny, golden woods of Lothlorien after being in that dark tower for so long. Alright, so there's the House of Celeborn. Let me see if I can make my way up there. Alright, Mr. Celeborn. Let's see what he has to say.
We do not allow outsiders into the Golden Wood.
Well met, Kippen. I am well aware of your deeds to our campaign in Dol Guldur. I have heard of your most recent exploits and further our cause there. Those robes you carry are most foul indeed. I will believe your tale just from these, let alone from the coin challenge given to you by Belvar. Take these as gratitude for your honor, for your heroic efforts in our campaign against the enemy forces of Dol Guldur. That is it. That is the end. I do hope you enjoyed the episode. I had a blast recording it. In the next episode, I'm just going to be tying up some loose ends here in Mirkwood, and then we'll finally be able to do the finale.